never Joe. Oh, money, never money, never money, money, never money, money, now know what you can even money. Money, never money, 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 you can keep, you can even money. When you've been up for a bum, you have been tell me money. Now because your money done, you come with conniving money. When you had your pocket full, you have been tell me money. Now because your money done, you hustle for tell me money. Yes, money, never money, never money, money, never money, money, now know what you conniving money. Neighbor joker, neighbor joker, neighbor joker. That's all the money that me walk for. A 2 pound note and a kill a piece. A 2 pound note and a kill a piece. A 2 pound note and a kill a piece. This is all the money that me walk for. I said money, never money, never money, money, never money, money. I don't want you can I be money. Oh, Joseph.
Guyana and Guyanese, at home and abroad. Tune in to Guyanese Morning Time, hosted by Kadaki Amsterdam, where the sun always shines. Guyanese Morning Time, the people call it Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people call it Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. We rise up early morning watching Tom's TV, where wisdom and knowledge, yes, it is the key. Exposing corruption over land and sea, where the wicked politicians they try to trick me. Guyana is a land for everybody. With 6 races should live in harmony. Is one set of people getting aisle money. Is one set of people doing the thievery. Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. This is a program that you all can see, sharing your views and your integrity. Like it, comment and share it all around. Pass it to your neighbor, safe and sound. A sad situation going on in this town. The voice of the people is getting trampled down. Out of the mouths of babes and sucklings, with Jah as ordained me to sing. I sing Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, fooling the people. You're promoting evil. Stop lying to the people. You are a part of the cycle. Stop fooling people. You're promoting evil. Stop lying to the people. You are a part of the cycle. I say Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, they got Breakford, Bork and Mark Benchcop. David Hines and Kadaki Amsterdam. Sherrod Duncan, Nigel London. Normal Brown and Gavin Matthews. Big up Pastor, poor people governor. Simona Brooms, Robin Simpson. Hampton Green and Winston Jordan. And yes, we can go right on and on. Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again.
The relatives and friends of young Quinlan Bacchus, they deserve justice. The family, the relatives and friends of our in Boston, they deserve justice. The family, the relatives and friends of Peter Headley, they deserve justice.
And so when we say that Guyana is an apartheid state, we have the evidence to show.
Hey, Buxton, Guyana, it's here again. It is the Black is Beautiful Cultural Pre-Emancipation Evening on the Buxton Line Top this July 31st. Headlined by Mark Batson, featuring the Buxton Steel Orchestra, Brian Chester, Nancy Story, Kwekwe, lots of songs and dances and poetry and skits, Pim Pim, and lots of other performances. This July 31st, Buxton Line Top, Black is Beautiful. It's a pre-emancipation cultural evening, showtime, 7 p.m. sharp.
Guyana, it's your boy Mark Batson, and I'll be coming home to Buxton for the pre-emancipation 187 year celebration. And if I say be there, activate yourself, because Mark Batson will be singing songs like "For Your Love, I'm Begging for a Sec, I Am the Man," called Mr. Larry. Buxton, 31st of July, Buxton lines up. Make it a date, don't be late.
Arriving in the UK from Guyana, the Caribbean, North America, or elsewhere, start your journey with ease and comfort by choosing First Class Travel Service, one of UK's leading providers of premium airport transfers. Enjoy a smooth, stress-free arrival by booking your comfortable and reliable airport taxi before you arrive. With affordable rates and exceptional service, we cover all major UK airports, including Heathrow, Gatwick, Manchester, Birmingham, and many more. Wherever you land, we guarantee a seamless door-to-door experience to and from any UK airport. For your peace of mind, all our drivers are fully DBS checked and cleared, ensuring a safe and trustworthy service from the moment you arrive. Our friendly staff will meet and greet you in the airport arrival hall, assist with your luggage, and escort you to one of our luxurious vehicles. So wait no longer. We're ready to look after you from the moment you arrive in the UK. You can contact us via email info@firstclasstravelservice.co.uk, office phone +4 4195 2287 176, WhatsApp +4 479 136 0576 5 or +4 479 009 50171. Or simply fill in our request, a quote form, at www.firstclasstravelservice.co.uk. Travel with confidence. Travel first class.
All right, so today we are here at Club Twilight up in Buxton, and we are here to talk about all that's going on up here. Trust me, if you are on the East Coast, you're in Buxton, you're in Tongue, you're looking for a place to get away to, this is the place. The Cutters, mwah. Listen, I'll be having some just now again. We'll talk about that. And then, of course, the ambience is beautiful, fully air conditioned. The decor is on point. The music's on point. Everything's on point. It's just me. I need some work. But everything else that belongs to this club here is on point. So if you want to find a nice little place where you can just drive out of town and have some drinks, have some food, you can call, you can order your stuff and just take it. You don't have to stay. Or if you want to stay here, that's what's up. And of course, they have special events for Valentine's. You can rent a hall. You can rent a hall, honey. You can rent a hall for weddings, for birthday parties, to have a bash. I hope he edits that out. But whatever it is, this is definitely the place to be. So it's on Sideline Nam. You definitely want to ensure that you check this place out. But it's on your to-do list. All right, on your to-do list. This is definitely the place to check out. A really cool, chill spot here in Buxton. I like this. Buxton needed this. We needed this. I needed this. You definitely needed too. Thank you.
Hi, hello, good morning, morning, neighbor, morning, how are you doing? It's 7:30 and it's the 29th day of July in the year 2026. Welcome to another program of Guyanese Morning Time. How are you? How have you been? How was it yesterday? How was it last night? How are you feeling this morning? What were you able to do yesterday? What gave you hope and continues to give you hope? What were you able to achieve yesterday? How did you use your extra talent, your special skill, your talent, to supplement your income, assuming you have a 9 to 5? What is the side hustle? Share with us. Listen, I was distracted here because I see. Let me don't go there this morning. It's too early for that. What am I saying to you? Yes, I'm saying to you, call a friend and tell a friend that we're on this morning. And unlike what a lot of people sometimes take for granted, I'm here early. Well, not early, but I'm here earlier than you would expect me. Right? Most mornings I come on after 7:30 in person. But this morning I'm here early. I wonder why. Y'all don't wonder why, just share the live. That is what is important. Share the live. Tell a friend, call a friend that alert them that Mr. Amsterdam is here. And he's ready to rock and roll. Okay, doc. I am thinking Friday is July 31st. It's when we will have the Black is Beautiful Cultural Evening in Buxton, PA, Emancipation Evening. And for that reason, I do not think I'll be hosting a program Friday morning. Right? That's compounded by other things. I don't think I'll be hosting Friday morning. So be aware that I will not be hosting Friday morning. I'm not likely to host Friday morning. But who knows? You were asking for Annette Ferguson and Lorraine Nestor to return. Maybe I can talk with them and see if they want to come spend their Friday morning with you. But as it is, because of the commitments I have for Friday in terms of preparing for the cultural evening later in the day and so on, I am likely not to host the program. Okay, so be aware of that. So when y'all see me Friday morning, don't be calling and asking me, Mr. Amsterdam, you're on this morning. Mr. Amsterdam, why we ain't seeing you on? Right? Just understand why. That's all I'm saying. Good. You call your friend yet? You tell your friend that we're on yet?
Omru pogru Guyana, o agri pogru padasi.
From Paparaiba sweet to Correctis your sons, your children bear teaching for them to guard Guyana's lands, to find the shop of rooted brethren, who fight with earth, to cherish and defend forever the slave that gave them birth. We forge a nation's mighty soul, construct a nation's way. Free more everlasting. Courage and truth forever. Only the thy great strength is to strive right side and never cease his strength beyond the slave. Guyana, like the glories, to fame prosperity, joining the universal search for thy prophecy. Your people must surrender. Then you are polluted with never changing with nation's unity.
Marching towards the shining future, courage like the past is gone. Before coming dream and counting mountain road, the sun is gone. The storm was dark and blowing through the sky in the land. On the Republic of Guyana, long live Guyana's name.
Hey, Buxton, Guyana, it is going down this Friday. Buxton New Market Tarmac, 7 o'clock in the night. It's the Black is Beautiful Pre-Emancipation Cultural Evening hosted by the 1st of August Movement Buxton. Come out. Nancy Story, Kwekwe, dances, poetry, drumming, headline by Mark Batson, music by Selected Trevlan from Natural Vibes and the Cams Audio family. Yeah, man, check it out. It's gonna be a movie.
Guyana, it's your boy Mark Batson, and now we're coming home to Buxton for the pre-emancipation 187 year celebration. And if I say be there, activate yourself, because Mark Batson will be singing songs like "For Your Love, I'm Begging for a Sec, I Am the Man," called Mr. Larry. Buxton, 31st of July. Buxton lines up. Make it a date, don't be late.
Any of you know that man that's called Mr. Larry? Hey, I would like to meet Mr. Larry. Mr. Larry is a bad man. Yes, so you're still tuned to the Guyanese Morning Time. Share the live, share the live. Share the live. It's the morning after. It is the morning after your black brothers, your Guyanese brothers, were arraigned before the courts for murder. Murder! Something that has to be premeditated. According to the law, you have to have malice of forethought. That has to be established. That you sat down in your sane mind and you decide I'm going to kill them, or I am going to cause serious injury to them. Those are the circumstances under which you can be charged for murder. Who does know? Hello. Morning. Yeah.
Arriving in the UK from Guyana, the Caribbean, North America, or elsewhere. Start your journey with ease and comfort by choosing first-class travel service, one of UK's leading providers of premium airport transfers. Enjoy a smooth, stress-free arrival by booking your comfortable and reliable airport taxi before you arrive. With affordable rates and exceptional service, we cover all major UK airports, including Heathrow, Gatwick, Manchester, Birmingham, and many more. Wherever you land, we guarantee a seamless door-to-door experience to and from any UK airport. For your peace of mind, all our drivers are fully DBS checked and cleared, ensuring a safe and trustworthy service from the moment you arrive. Our friendly staff will meet and greet you in the airport arrival hall, assist with your luggage, and escort you to one of our luxurious vehicles. So wait no longer. We're ready to look after you from the moment you arrive in the UK. You can contact us via email info@firstclasstravelservice.co.uk, office phone +4 4195 2287 176, WhatsApp +4 479 136 0576 5 or +4 479 009 50171, or simply fill in our request, a quote form, at www.firstclasstravelservice.co.uk. Travel with confidence. Travel first class.
All right, so today we are here at Club Twilight up in Buxton, and we are here to talk about all that's going on up here. Trust me, if you are on the East Coast, you're in Buxton.
Yeah, sorry for that. It happens. Somebody was calling me because they think they had some very important information which I had to get. And so, with all respect, I had to take that information and so on and so forth. Nothing earth shattering. Y'all don't be surprised. Nothing earth shattering. I was saying, yes, without considering all the things that you have to establish before you can charge a man for murder, or before you can determine that a man or woman has engaged in murder, 3 Guyanese citizens were charged and placed before the court for murder. We're going to talk about that a little later, but right now I think we have Dr. John Anderson from the Guyana Public Service Credit Union in studio with us. Let me establish that he's here. Dr. Anderson, are you there? Hello, Dr. Anderson?
Hi, Kadaki. Good morning. Talking to you now.
Good morning to you, sir. How are you doing?
I am doing well. Thanks.
Well, it's always good to have you with us. You know, the credit union.
It's always good to be here.
Co-op Credit Union remains our friends, and we continue to like the work that you guys are doing over there. And you always appreciate it when you can find the time. Drop in, as we say, pass by, and share with us some of the developments. So, welcome to the program, and tell us what's happening. What has been happening since the last time you've been here?
Well, Kadaki, thank you to your viewers. Thank you to you, the host of Guyanese Morning Time, for inviting us, the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union, to share this time with you and to update you on the work we've been doing. You know, when this new committee of management took leadership of the credit union, you were there with us. We started this journey by engaging you and the Guyanese public. And so it is quite fitting that we come back again 2 years after to share with you what we're doing. Now, it's important to reflect, even as we are forward thinking and as we want to share with persons the current matters. You know, 2 years ago, this new committee of management was elected by the members of the GPSCCU, but not after a quite tumultuous time, because 2 years prior to 2024, the members, by way of a petition, forced the past committee of management to come to account, to give an account of themselves via a special general meeting. And as you know, that committee of management resisted the members, and the members took them to court and eventually prevailed to have the special general meeting, at which they removed that committee of management and they elected a new committee of management, of which I sit on that committee as a director. Now, since then, what have we done? We have sought to rejuvenate and revitalize the GPSCCU, because prior to our ascension to leadership, there were significant fractures in the governance structure of the organization and the cohesiveness that one would want to see in such an organization. And so what we did is that we restored the leadership of the leadership stability in the organization. We re-engage with our members through annual general meetings, and that is an interesting note that we should not miss, because prior to 2021, we did not have annual general meetings for about 8 years. And so the committee of management then, not the one that was voted out, but the previous committee of management, did not hold annual general meetings. And because they did not hold annual general meetings for 8 years, an interim management committee was put in, and things matured from there. But we, the committee of management of the GPSCCU, understand that there is a democratic process by which one must, once elected, bring oneself before the membership for examination. And also, one must come to the members and account for how the monies are spent, what investments are being made, what changes are being proposed and actioned, and the like. And so members certainly have responded positively as we have ensured that we have had our annual general meetings yearly. And so Kadaki, similar to you, somebody has chosen to call me now. Let me just see if I can.
Are you with us?
With you. I was saying similar to you a few moments ago, someone chose to call me now. But the point is that we have chosen to re-engage with our members, not only through outreaches across the 10 administrative regions of Guyana, but we have chosen to re-engage through annual general meetings where we bring ourselves before the members and give an account for how the finances are being managed. In addition to restoring the governance stabilization and organizational restructuring, we have undertaken digital transformation and modernization of the credit union, where we have launched the online digital platform. Persons now, they can access in all 10 administrative regions, with, of course, challenges in some areas. Some regions, the internet service and other services can be a bit of a challenge, but in all 10 administrative regions, persons can now check their account balances in real time, review e-statements, electronic statements, submit forms, update their profiles remotely. So they don't have to come into the office to do that. We have transitioned to a paperless system. We have begun digitalizing the core administrative workflows, including online membership, onboarding, and direct electronic loan application. So when someone goes to the credit union's page via Facebook and they click, you will see a link there that would say at mygpsccu.com. And you click on that link, and then you see the services we offer and so on. You can apply for membership on there. You can also do a loan application online as well. So we have begun the modernization of this organization. We also have worked with other organizations to provide a digital payment integration system so that persons can pay via MMG and other services. So they don't have to come down to the credit union. They can make payments. They can pay into their special savings, ordinary savings. They can transfer funds from one savings to the other. They can make their payments that way as well. You know, we live in a time where AI is taking over, and the cyberspace is one in which if you're not careful, lots of information, lots of data could be lost. And so what we have done, we have upgraded the digital infrastructure and data security protocols in the credit union to protect the members' sensitive financial data. Of course, all of these things that come at a cost, Kadaki. That should be underscored as well. We have We have ensured that we improve the financial performance of the credit union and also provided dividends to our members. You may know that historically, over the period where there was no annual general meeting, no dividends were paid. This is the 2013 era, right? 2013 to 2021 era, where there was no annual general meetings and therefore members did not get any dividends. We have begun restoring that to the members, which is their right to have dividends paid to them and so on. We have also gone on a serious membership expansion drive, and we have walked every region in this country where our members lie. Of course, I must say that in some regions, such as Region 1, Region 9, there are some far out clusters of communities where you have to go by boat or by plane that we may not have touched, but certainly we have been in contact with our members there. Whenever we visit a region, we would use a central hub. And in some instances, persons who live way over the mountains or way into the far out regions, for example, Region 1 and Region 9, may not be able to come physically there. But the point is that we have been working to expand the membership of the credit union, and we have added just around 1,400 members, give or take, to our membership portfolio. We have also, very importantly, which is where the members really tend to be focused, expanded the loan portfolio in terms of the products that we offer and housing support. You know, housing is a big issue here in Guyana. And so what we have done is that we have targeted housing mortgage programs to enhance home ownership, so that we have tailored it specifically for the public service workers who tend to be low, middle, and in some cases upper income persons. And so we have a several tier loan offering, which allows members to decide, okay, if my salary is within the low income or middle income or upper income bracket, then I can apply for a loan within my financial capability. And that was not the case before. So we have diversified that offering, and we also now have made it easier for persons to get vehicle loans, not only the mortgages, but vehicle loans, character loans that have always been a part of what we did. Guarantor loans, the character loan and guarantor loans are the ones that have been the staple in the credit union. Secured loans, which would include your mortgages and vehicle loans as well, and some other loans tend to fall into that category. And so what we really wanted to do is to shorten the loan approval time. Now, we still are working on that. We're still tweaking that. But before, persons would take as much as 2 weeks to get a $100,000 loan in an emergency situation. We have changed that. Again, we are still tweaking the system. We still have some kinks that we are working on. But the point is that members can now come and receive much better service than previously was offered. Also, we know that we have a social responsibility and to the community, and so we've been engaging the community. We have recorded our bursary award this year. I believe we had over 100 students nationwide, where we awarded educational grants to these students, and this has been the largest bursary award that we have done, that the credit union has ever done. And so I think that there is something to say about the direction this committee of management is taking the credit union in. And we also expanding on that community engagement and social responsibility. We have increased our corporate support for healthcare causes. And when I say increase, we're talking dollars. When we use the word increase, we're talking dollars all the time. So we have been supporting persons who have health issues. They would write to us and we would approve, as the case may be, support for persons who have cancers, persons with children who have surgical issues where they're looking for support. We have supported cancer awareness organizations. And when I say support, again, I'm talking about cash. I'm not talking about words of support. I'm talking about money. And we have broadened our participation for annual member promotion event so that we can really demonstrate the kind of leadership that our members are looking for. Now, let me say this as well, Kadaki. We have embarked on an ambitious program of having modern offices in the regions where we can. So, starting in Georgetown, we have commenced the construction of our modern state-of-the-art complex in Upper Hatfield Street, oblique to the cultural center, and that project is on its way. We have also begun construction of a corporate building in New Amsterdam. That building is progressing very nicely and should come to completion very shortly. In addition to that, we are seeking to acquire and land and construct a property in a corporate office in Linden. And so what we're trying to do is to decentralize the services that the credit union offer so that persons don't have to come to Georgetown to access the service. And if I can conclude, to give you an opportunity to ask whatever questions you may have in mind, we traveled to Region 1, okay? And in Region 1, from what we could have gleaned, there are no banks. The way that we can go into a bank here in Georgetown. And so we were able to provide our members financial support on the ground by taking the services to the members. And so they were very, very happy, as you might have seen on our page. And the point is that we recognize that our members need financial access to finance, and we are providing that service along with excellent leadership of the credit union. So, Kadaki, in short, the credit union is moving forward. We are progressing in a modern and new trajectory. And this committee of management is happy to serve all of our members in the GPSCCU.
Thank you, Dr. Anderson. Thank you for that update. And I noticed, I just had it on the screen there. I noticed it's bursary period. The GPSCCU usually does bursary awards after the National Grade 6 examination results are out. And so, you want to talk to us a little bit about the bursary this year? I don't know what went wrong there, but it seems as though we lost Dr. Anderson. Oh, he's coming back in.
Hi, Kadaki. Sorry about that. My hand jammed the wrong button. Yes, I knocked myself. Yes, go ahead.
Right. So I was saying thank you for the update, and I know it is bursary season because National Grade 6 examination results are out. And so I'm asking if you can share with us a little bit on the National Grade 6 bursary, what the preparations are, deadlines, and so on. What can people expect this year?
So people can expect what we have become known for in terms of a quality and effective leadership. Now, we have been giving bursaries to our young scholars. And as I said, we did the largest bursary award, over 100 students across the country. Now, one of the things I want to advise our members, and we've been engaging with them, and it's a process, stay in touch with the credit union's Facebook page because we provide information there in real time. What I have done, I have followed the page. So anything the credit union puts out, it's there. But certainly this year's scholars, our scholars have performed well, and you can expect through our community leaders, the folks on the ground, and the officers who are working with us to provide more detailed information. I don't want to give out too much of the juicy stuff yet, but our bursary awards are in planning, and as is usual, we will send out correspondences, and it will be a public affair. You never know, Kadaki, you might be asked to to be there. But certainly the bursary awards are on, as we have been doing so annually, and our scholars can look forward to receiving from us. We will communicate through the usual channels to get that information out to the members. Hello? Kadaki, are you there?
So,
Yes.
yes, I'm here. I was talking to myself. I apologize for that. I was saying to viewers that the applications are now opened for the annual bursary awards in 2026, and they will close on the 1st of September in 2026. So you have approximately a month to make those applications. So submit those applications through the usual channel. You should have the National Grade 6 examination results slip when you're making that application. Okay, good. Right. So again, thank you for that update. What's new? What's in the making? I know the GPSCCU was working on the ATM service. What's happening with the construction of that multi-purpose building? I think somewhere on Durban Street and so on and so forth. Any update on those things, those projects?
So, firstly, the construction of our state-of-the-art complex on Hatfield Street, not Durban Street, correction,
Very well.
Hatfield Street, is on its way. We're, of course, straddling the construction of the New Amsterdam building as well. But the Hatfield Street building is on its way. The foundation work has been done. We're moving to phase 2, and we have a targeted time period to complete this building. And so within from the rest of 2026, a lot of phase 2 will be rolled out. And then, of course, looking forward to the new calendar year, where phase 3, 4, and so on will be rolled out. But that project is on its way, progressing nicely. Members can pass by the Hatfield Street construction, and you will see, at least from the outside, if anybody wants to enter, there's a strict protocol in terms of safety wear, safety gear, logging your name into a ledger, because remember, it's an active construction site, but members are free to view what their money is doing for them. And so that project is on its way. Now, as it relates to the ATM service, we have engaged a number of stakeholders to see what is the best fit for our local situation. And that engagement is on its way. We have been talking with a number of providers in the Caribbean and elsewhere. So that process is still being ironed out.
Thank you much. It's now 3 minutes past the 8 o'clock hour. I know Dr. Anderson is a working professional, and I would rather suspect he's anxious to leave. Are you ready to leave, sir, or you have more information for us?
Well, if you have questions for me, Kadaki, I'm more than happy to answer. I think I've shared with the members the core content that I want to share with them. And I think once we talk money, that's where the members' focus and interest is. Should there be any queries that you want to make with me, I'll be more than happy to clarify them.
Very well. So if there are any questions from the audience, please send me your questions quickly. Or you can call and ask me a question or two quickly. We're not going to allocate more than 6 minutes to that. Those outreaches, I know you guys were doing a number of outreaches recently, and you did mention that there's some areas that you were unable to touch and so on. Where's the feedback from the outreaches?
Well, Kadaki, persons are excited about the outreaches. I mean, if you visit our page, you will see the kind of responses that our members have given. Persons are extremely grateful because, as I said, in Region 1, there is no bank there is just the post office. And those persons who came to the outreach were able to receive loans. They were able to really, apply for their back to school loans. They were able to actually receive loans right there on the spot. And so for us, that was an exciting time for us. And I think the members were even more excited to be able to come to an outreach, receive a loan, and go home with something that they can help their families with. I mean, I can't replicate the excitement that some members were demonstrated, but I'm telling you, being on the ground and looking at the faces of people, listening to their comments, looking at their expressions of gratitude, it is something satisfying on a level that is just beyond words.
I can imagine. Now we have Dennis Champagne asking, what is a character loan? Is it a loan that buys character?
It is a loan that you take based on the savings that you have in your ordinary savings. Now, we can lend you 75% of the quantum of the loan that the savings you have in your ordinary savings. We can lend you 75% of that money. So that is a character loan. You are basically guaranteeing yourself. You're saying, look, I am committing to pay this 75% of my ordinary savings. Is that clear enough?
Yes, I interpret it as a loan. Well, the terminology character loan, for the fact that it is based on your character, your savings character, your history with the credit union.
Yes.
You've demonstrated over the years that you are consistent in your savings, and so you have accumulated that savings in your ordinary account, and so the credit union can quote unquote take the chance to lend you 75% of that without requiring guarantee.
But it is 75% of the value of what you have saved. A lot of times persons get the impression that they're getting 75% of their own money. In a sense, it is, but we are lending you 75% of the value of what you have saved. So you still have to pay that money back. So I wanted to be clear. It's not a case where you're going into your wallet and taking out 75%, $75 of $100. We are lending you 75% of the value of what you have in your ordinary savings. As you know, Kadaki, the credit union functions differently to other lending institutions, where it is the savings that are maintained that keeps us being able to lend money to other members, because the motto of the credit union is based on the way we function, which is people helping people. And as a cooperative, it is important that people understand that it is the money that you have saved that we now can use to lend your fellow public servants. I hope that that's clear.
Certainly. Again, Dennis is asking if you can withdraw from your savings without taking a loan.
Without taking a loan?
Yes.
So the savings portfolio in the credit union is several tier. Now, traditionally, you have your ordinary savings and you have your special savings. The ordinary savings is money that you save, and you're going to borrow loans against what you have saved in the ordinary savings. Your special savings is where you also, so your money is going into the ordinary savings and your special savings. The special savings is where you can withdraw from without any significant process. Now, right now, and that is where the ATM arrangement will tap into. It is your special savings. The ordinary savings is basically a fixed deposit. However, we have brought on board a third arm of savings, which is your mortgage savings. So you can save money toward building your home, buying a piece of land, and so on. So when you fill out your form, you will give directive for monies to go into your ordinary savings, special savings, and if you so desire, your mortgage savings. But as it relates today, what you can withdraw from it would be your special savings, where you can come in and you can withdraw up to $50,000 in every 24 hours. You know, the banks have a higher, some banks it's 120,000 or 200,000. At the credit union, it's $50,000. You could come in, uplift that, and take care of your business. And that comes again from your special savings. The ordinary savings is a fixed deposit. Is that clear?
Thank you, Dr. John. At least for me, very. Good. And with that said, 10 minutes past 8 o'clock, it's time for me to let Dr. Anderson go about his regular schedule. Thank you, Dr. Anderson, for dropping in and sharing information with us and keeping us posted and so on. Have a pleasant rest of the day and convey my regards to the rest of the management team. You guys have been doing well, and I trust that you'll continue to do well. I've seen a lot of happy faces. I have lots of friends who are members of the Co-op Credit Union and so on. And they usually are happy these days.
Yes, these are happy days for the members of the credit union, and we're going to continue to work in the interest of our members, stay on the ground, listening to our members, and work towards improving the credit union and making it into that organization that it is capable of becoming.
Thank you. Closing remarks, any?
My closing remarks are that the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union has now taken its place on the financial landscape of our country. And that is because of prudent management by the Committee of Management led by Mr. Trevor Llewellyn Ben. It is important to acknowledge leadership and to give kudos where kudos should be given. Our management committee works very hard, and our staff, amazing staff. I've watched these staff work, Kadaki, as late as midnight and beyond when we go on outreaches, and I ask myself, where do they find the energy? Amazing staff. And we are going to continue to work towards ensuring that the GPSCCU makes a permanent footprint in this country to continue supporting the financial dreams and goals of public servants in Guyana.
Thank you much, sir.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you. Yes, and so that was Dr. Anderson of the Guyana Public Service Co-op Credit Union giving us an update of the work that they're doing. And I can tell you they're doing wonderful work. They really, really, I mean, when I look from the outside in and I reminisce on what the past looked like, I know for a fact that they've done a lot of work and the credit union has improved by leaps and bounds. And the one thing I'm disappointed about is that, you know, not being a public servant, I can't join the public service credit union and get some of those benefits that, you know, the members are getting. But I see that the members are really benefiting from being a part of the organization. You know, when you look around, the government likes to tell you that everybody's driving a car. There are lots of cars in the country and so on the roads and so on. You go and check and see how the Co-op Credit Union contributes to the number of vehicles on your roads, right? Because, like you see, they have all of these different types of savings and lending schemes and so on and so forth. I know a lot of public servants are approaching them or have been approaching them and have been successfully getting loans to acquire motor vehicles and other such things. Good. It is now 13 minutes past the 8 o'clock hour. You're still tuned to the Guyanese Morning Time. I am your host, Kedaki Amsterdam. And earlier I was saying to you, it's the morning after 3 Guyanese, 3 more particularly Afro-Guyanese were charged for murder as a result of the capsizing, the sinking of the MV Barima. But what we haven't heard as yet is when the leadership, because those are the low-hanging fruits, when the top class, if you want to call them that, upper class of that organization will face their judgment and when the political leadership of that organization is going to face their judgment. I see a lot of people are talking nonsense in that the captain and his crew must be held accountable. And yes, they should be charged for something or the other, because at the end of the day, they were responsible for the movement of the vessel and so on and so forth. You know, sometimes I like to say it's best to keep your mouth shut than open it and remove all doubts as to whether you're ignorant or not. And a lot of people who've been expressing those sentiments, I want to call you plain and straight ignorant. In a democracy, in a democratic country where institutions are allowed to function, yes. Where institutions are allowed to function, yes. I grew up being taught that on vessels and aircrafts and so on and so forth, it is the captain and crew that bears a responsibility for the safety of their passengers or even cargo. Yes, that's true. But it is also the captain who has the final say as to what gets loaded and what gets carried, in keeping with the capacity and the specification, classification of the vessel that he is expected to pilot. That is what happens in a democracy. But in a dictatorship, where every Tom, Dick, Harry, John, Jane, friends, family, favorites, and footstools of the political class is allowed to behave as if they are the owners and runners of these assets of state. And so when they don't get their way, they call a minister, in fact, the minister. They call him minister. Anybody could be a minister, you know. You just have to be a good political lackey, especially for the PPP. You just have to be a good political yes man or woman, and they'd make you a minister. You just have to be a party loyalist, and they will make you a minister. And so they empower you to go out there and make decisions that will impact people's lives and their livelihood without even having the most basic of understanding of how those decisions will have the impacts that they will have on people's lives and livelihood. But those are the people who sit in office and dictate to professionals how they must do their work. Dictate to professionals how they must do their work. And when the shit hits the fan, like it did with the MV Barima, they all pull back into their shells, their empty shells, their dancing cabins. And they say, let the professionals take the blame, let the professionals take the fall. Because it is only then they recognize, conveniently, that it is the professionals who are supposed to conduct their business, execute their undertakings professionally. Only then. So they pull back and they say, hey, our hands are off of this. Let the professionals take the fall. So yeah, let me charge the crew, the 3 members of the crew, in this instance, for murder. When obviously the crew was taking political instructions and was being bullied by their superiors at transport and orders to execute those political instructions. But poor people in this country, especially black people, they're expendables. They're expendables. So let me charge them. Let us make them an example of what dictatorship is. I hope the other public servants are paying keen attention to understand that when they take political diktats, dictates, when they allow themselves to be dictated to politically and forget what their professionalism or their professional conduct demands, they will end up like the 3 members of the crew. And so from this day henceforth, I'm encouraging public servants, understand your role. There's something that is given to you when you get employed. It's called a list of duties. It's called a list of duties. Roles and responsibilities. Understand your roles and responsibilities and work to rule. Because if you don't do that to protect yourselves, you're going to end up like the captain and the other 2 crew members of the MV Burima. It's not an easy task. I know it's not an easy task. I know it's not an easy task because the fact is, the politicians will bully you through your supervisors, and your supervisors will bully you for the politicians. But you have to understand to stand your ground. A lot of us say, stand your ground, do what you're supposed to do, be resistant. But we know it's difficult, brothers and sisters. We know it is difficult. Because what you have to study as a public servant coming under all of this pressure is when they're going to dismiss you, when they're going to put you on the breadline. Because obviously that is what they do. That is what they keep you under pressure with. If you don't toe the line, if you don't follow our political instructions, no matter how unprofessional it comes across, we are going to dismiss you. We are not going to renew your contract because you're a problematic worker. You are insubordinate. And so it's natural that man or woman will be asking his or herself, do I want to be placed on the breadline? How will I provide for my family if I lose this job? What are the job opportunities available in this country if I lose this job? And in most cases, when the PPP knocks you off politically, when the PPP is vindictive to you and they fire you, it's not only that you're fired from the public service, but you are also blacklisted. I remember Jagyo talking about his black book. Y'all might take it for fun. But usually when the PPP fires you through their vindictiveness, you get blacklisted. Nobody in the private sector hires you willingly because they too operate under fear of what the PPP will do if they find out that you have hired somebody that they dismiss. So in short, it's they're banishing you from your own Guyanese society. And nobody wants to be banished because at the end of the day, you think about your survival. So we know, according to the screaming from the captain, they didn't got EPORB, they didn't got HARN. Since 2022, the vessel was basically declared unseaworthy and all of that. But he was instructed to pilot it, and pilot it he did. Pilot it he did. Today he's before the court. Where are the intellectual authors of that disaster? Where are the intellectual authors of that disaster? And why Guyanese are not up in arms, challenging this injustice? Challenging this injustice. I see some of the jackasses from the PPP troll team saying that the opposition is a set of stupid people because the opposition saying that somebody must be held accountable for this tragedy. But the opposition is against the crew members being charged for murder, especially. I can't think y'all got y'all brain in y'all backsides. Because we know that the members of the crew were not operating in a democracy. They were not allowed to function professionally. They were not allowed to make their assessments according to their training and understanding and stick to their conclusions based on their training and understanding and the situations which presented themselves. They were instructed. And they had to follow those instructions. unless they were looking for another job. I saw an article this morning. I know I saved it, but I can't remember where I saved it. As usual, I always do that to myself. But this is a captain who worked, right? This is a captain who worked with the Transport and Harbors Department. As a matter of fact, he trained with them as an apprentice. He said he trained with them in those years before. Where did I see this thing? Where did I save this thing? Oh, I think I shared it to, yes, I did share it to my WhatsApp, to my Facebook. So I'll check on my Facebook for you. Because I think it's an article worth sharing with you, those of you who have not seen it. All right, somebody's calling. Let me see who's calling. Call you on. Good morning.
He sent you a member of the crew that used to work. He quit the job in April. You guys got to listen to a crew member that quit the job in April, right? There's 2 voice messages I sent to you. So go ahead and let the people listen to how they conduct business with the BBC party. All right, later.
Hi, good afternoon, my aunt. Basically, let me talk about who these people was to me. One was working at Transport and Harbors Department. This Captain Kevin Price. He's the captain for the Every Bird. He was the captain for this vessel for the past, I would say, 10 months. Because prior to the 10 months, before he took over as the captain for the vessel, he had an incident whereby the vessel had some issues and the captain before him refused to take the boat. And that would happen sometime during the course of last year. Yeah, I'm not sure about the dates. Anyway, the other captain refused to take the boat and they bring this man. He used to work from Springlands to Suriname routes.
Am I hearing that there's no volume?
From Johnson to Phuket tomorrow, and the captain.
Are you saying there's no volume? Y'all talk to me if that's what you're saying, because I'm seeing some people complaining about volume. Are you hearing the voice note? Give me an indication. Give me a red light. Show me a light too. I'll have to check it myself. Let me go to where it should be.
Have refused to his route from Springlands to Suriname. Since I work with the captain, he's very jovial. He's friendly and always willing to help others. And on many occasions, I should say many trips we had made together, I had noticed a nervous look. I observed actually a nervous look on the captain's face. Like something bothering me, you know? Yeah, and he did smoke a little marijuana, so. Smoke a little marijuana, might drink a little bit or something. But he always got worried look on the face, like something is concerning or worrying. And at one occasion I asked him, so Captain, why is that like, you know, don't really associate yourself much with people. You always get quiet and you know, you got worried look on your face. So I said, no, we got problems and difficulties in life. But this look beyond them. Because you're in charge of a vessel. He said, boy, this vessel in order appropriate for really traversing the amount of times the minister wants both of us. Sorry, you understand? But he didn't talk about the problems. because the problems is affect me. That's where the charges and the explanation sheet that I showing you and mommy come into play. Because the vessel leaking all the time. Water flooding in the hatch where the cargo is. And I was in charge of cargo passengers. So whenever rice, flour, feed, or whatever bags at the bottom in the hatch get wet, it's damaged. We all accountability for it. Despite those several reports on flooding of the vessel and the hatch, actually, never get no positive response from the minister. The reporters go to the traffic handler. From the good superintendent, there's Mr. De La Grandison. He's the other one who has been charged for murder. He sent to him, he sent to the traffic manager, and then traffic manager will report it to the minister who's there. Anyway, despite we have done several reports, nothing has been done about this situation. Never been done. All they're doing is set a schedule for the boat depart back to Port California. Despite our going on. Then I'm going to now. This is not one of the other suspects that was charged for murder for the strategy. He was my direct boss. Because after him was us. We are the poorest sons to the boat. Because when the boat leaves Georgetown, we gotta get there whole accountability for the passengers and the cargo. So basically the line was charged because he's the loading superintendent or the boat superintendent. He in charge of loading of the vessel. Right? But I'm continuing the part here. Let me go back all the way to 2015. Right? I'm not a politician, your nephew is not a politician. I don't hold sides. I just look at the facts of the story. So, all the way back to 2015, when APNU took office, APNU had took that same boat off the water into docking for repairs and states to the public how much money is required to repair the vessel in order to get it seaworthy the right way. Anyway, it left in dock for 5 years. Nothing wasn't done on the vessel. During that 5 year period, there was another vessel by the name of Narcoot that used to run from Georgetown to the same destination, Port Caribe. Right? APN had a vessel working, it was far newer than the MV Burma that had sunk. Anyway, that vessel was working very good. No issues, no complaint about no leakage or anything. When we took back office in 2020, I don't know. Well, not that I don't know. We all know it's because of political issues and trying to make a party look good. The PVP dock. They not close boat because it came out under the previous government. They dock the boat, take some parts from it, try to set up the Burima. So the Burima wasn't set up fully and wasn't inspected properly by anybody to determine if it was seaworthy. It's just that, look, this party look like it got looked after. They just take off from the North Coast boat that the AP and you put out there and they put it down on the Burima. Anyway, after the finish and the fleet satisfying at 9, and it's supposed to float, that's when they release it from the dock, put it back on sea. From since 2020 to now, that boat has a lot of issues. Issues that I can't even explain, but despite any report stating what I experienced, nothing has been done. The reason I can leave the job is because I'm holding accountability for things that people, because of people negligence, I would say. I hold accountability for it. Because this boat leaking, this boat got issues, it's still sending it, and it's still finding somebody to blame for the damages of the customer's cargo. Prior to that, the good superintendent was the one that loaded the vessel, right? According to the information I had received, the captain informed the good superintendent the boat which it loaded in line. Okay, boat which it loaded in line. That's what the captain told the good superintendent. The good superintendent closed off loading for the vessel. The next day, that was the Saturday the boat was to depart. They had some government official came and said that the regional chairman has to get 2 large generators up in Region 1. And when I talk about large generators, I talk about generators where that vehicle is got to pull and carry where it got to. Two, not one, two. But like I said, vessel was done overload, don't start to take water. Anyway, they sell out the two generator despite the captain price, the sell out it, right? But I'm upset with the captain whereby he could have refused to carry the vessel, even if he got take a job, resign. I would have done that. But he still choose to carry just to please them. Right? My last trip I did with the vessel was in April. When I came off of that last trip, I think it was the 2nd or the 3rd of April. I turned and I tell the good superintendent I'm not going back because this boat taking an excess amount of water and we are holding accountability for too much damages that we don't have anything to do about or don't have knowledge about. You know what the good superintendent words to me? Somebody got hold accountability for it because the minister and nobody else in high position is not going to do that. I said, oh, I said, hope when things happen in the other way around, whereby it can cause such a effect to the nation, they don't want to blame the heads. And I bet you the heads can pass it on to you. So it said, and so it is a day like today. Now, not before doing about this vessel leaking, I refuse to go on the vessel. And I get to the real point that I move away from the job. They had asked me to load and to go with the vessel just after I came back in April. And I told them, yo, I was in Port Caicono for 2 weeks. You try to tell me I just come in to spend 4 days with my family and I gotta go back again. I said, buddy, this is getting overbearing and I can't handle it no more. I said, despite that, the vessel have a lot of problems. Due to the same problem, the vessel don't even depart for Caicono the time it's supposed to. Sometimes we depart to this after and all these things. I tell them straight, I'm not going. They tell me if I go, they're gonna send me home. I say I'm not sending me home, I'm going home. I take my kids into my own and I just go home. I never go back to the job. Never go back. I get through the thing at the pulse of start working up and out. And then this come. So this wasn't surprising to me and nothing strange to me. I got reports in my phone, my aunt, telling them about the damages where the excess water coming in the hatch, damaging the people cargo and all these things. And then do nothing.
And so you heard it. You heard it. That's the shared experience of someone who worked at Transport and Harbors Department, someone who actually worked in the MV Barima, detailing for you what the challenges were. And like I said, it's simple. If you don't follow the dictates of these dictators, then you suffer the consequences. Right? Listen to the young man. He said, basically came down to if you can't go, if you don't want to go, if you don't want to follow the instructions, then we will fire you. And he made a choice. that he was going to leave instead of getting fired. And I dare argue that that might or might not have been an easy choice for him because maybe he has a support system. Maybe he has a support system. But a lot of the people who work in the public service start to say, I usually say they're one paycheck away from poverty. And if you're one paycheck away from poverty, then you have to consider that. If I quit this job, how do I survive until I get the next one? Especially knowing that I can and will be blacklisted. Right? So those who say you could have left the work and you could have refused to carry the boat and so on and so forth, we all know the consequences. This young man expressed the same thing, that he's angry with the captain for taking the boat despite he's aware of all of the challenges. But he also indicated to you that when he refused to go, what the threat was, we're going to fire you. Right? We will fire you. So it's damn you do, damn you don't. And like I said, there's this captain called Andrew Donald. It's a long read, right? But he details also his challenges. Let me know. I don't even want to. Don't let me try to read it for you. Let me try to proceed, as we say, paraphrase. He said basically he was an apprentice. He went he got into TNAG through their apprenticeship program and so on. Before they had all these fly-by-night, Eiffel Newton marine schools and so on and so forth. And he got his certification. He enjoyed maybe he enjoyed the what should I say? He enjoyed some peace for a few months, and then the trial started. And as you got qualified, as you certified yourself and so on, you get quote unquote promoted. So a time came when he became a master, I think, and he was responsible for operating the MV Barima. And the very challenges which are reported, the very failures which are being reported now are failures that he had to contend with and refused to deal with. Because he knew what the law says and what his job description perhaps said, that, you're going to be responsible, you'll be held responsible. He stood his ground in many instances and told him, well, I ain't carrying no boat if it's unsafe, if it's overloaded. According to him, he never took an overloaded boat because he always insisted that he's not going to carry it if it got 1 kilogram extra. What were the repercussions? They stymied him. He was victimized. It took him forever to move from, I would say, he used the word, I would say tier 1 to tier 2, or from tier 2 to tier 1. I think that is how the ratings go. Right? Pilot level 1, pilot level 2. Pilot level 1 most likely is a higher rank than pilot 2, and so on. And so they had him at years at that lower level, doing everything that was humanly possible to keep him subjugated. He had to take it on his own, to go and pay his own money to get certified for the level that he wanted to get to. For him, he said, fortunately, after his certification, they reimbursed him. But the wars continued. The wars continued. And eventually he got what? Fed up, and he left. Again, I'm saying it is not everybody that has the opportunity to leave. It's not everybody that has the support system that can allow them to leave. But what all of these, if you listen to the experiences of all of these former workers of TNAG and even some current workers of TNAG who do not want the information to go public and so on, it is a nightmare over there because the professionals are not allowed to do their work professionally. They are forced to take political instructions through their supervisors. And again, I'm going to say, it is one of the reasons the PPP doesn't want the MV Barima hoisted from the floor of the ocean. Because what will be revealed? What will be revealed would be more damning that we are saying, would be more damning than we are imagining. I see the folks over at Amstel, Morning Roundup. They have started protesting, calling for justice and the release of the young man Grandison. Congratulations on taking that step. Congratulations. And I want to ask the people in Amstel, what will it take for you to come out and stand with one of your own so that justice can prevail? What will it? I'm sure a lot of you are aware of the planned protest because I think I got word of it either early this morning or late last night. But I'm sure you thought it best. I gotta go to the government work. The rain doesn't fall on one man, stop. Let us keep that in mind. Let us keep that in mind. But I want to say to the people at Amstel, continue. Bring out your community. Protest on behalf of your own. And the relatives and friends of and co-workers and all those who are affected at transport and harbors and so on, y'all join them. Join them in that protest and move it to the seat of government in Georgetown eventually. And citizens across this country must join them because that is an injustice. There's no question about that. I am a man who usually say let the chips fall where they may or where they will. You got consequences to face. But not only some will be made to face consequences while the others continue to benefit from their misbehavior and flit around this place free like larks. No. There must be accountability. But not only the small man must face the music. The political authors, the intellectual authors, they must face the music too. The captain and the rest of the crew, they don't control the purse of this country. They don't control the budget of TNHD. So they couldn't fix what had to be fixed. They knew what had to be fixed. They submitted their reports time over about what had to be fixed. But the persons who control the resources for fixing it didn't fix it, but bullied them to operate that vessel the way it was. If you ask me, those are the people who should be charged for murder because they had malice aforethought. They knew that if we force these men to go to see where this vessel, people could die. They are the ones that should be charged for murder. I see Azzuddin Mohammed has given the government a challenge. He said, give me permission to raise the vessel. Give me permission to raise the vessel. I am willing to invest my resources and use my foreign contacts and so on and get the vessel raised. Yeah, give me permission. Guyanese must demand that they give Azzuddin Mohammed permission to raise the vessel or they raise it themselves. And Guyanese must not accept them saying that we will raise it ourselves and just leave it there and drag their feet on it. They must give you a timeline by which they intend to raise it. Because in order to nullify Azzuddin Mohammed's request to raise it, they would very well say they have reconsidered and the government will raise it. But they will drag their feet on it because they have already given a commitment. We're going to raise it. They ain't going to say when we're going to raise it. And so it will be there with all of the other promises that they made to this nation. And time will pass and people's tempers will die away. And so it will be forgotten. Guyanese must demand from them. They either give Azzuddin Mohammed permission to raise it or they give us a timeline by which they will raise it. Because we don't want it at the bottom there. We want it to be raised so that it can be examined and we can know the facts. And last on this issue, the legal minds will tell you that if somebody is charged for a matter and it is placed before the court, it becomes sub judice. Sub judice. In that nobody except the court can basically inquire into that matter. And so this commission of inquiry which has been set up, despite all of the misgivings, all of the corrupt people or alleged corrupt people who are commissioners on this commission of inquiry, Father turns out to be, according to allegations, the friend of the, well, we know, friend of the PPP has, he benefits from the gold project. His wife and the first lady allegedly are friends, and it is alleged that through that friendship, contracts are directed to his Marine school and so on and so forth. So here's another case of a conflict of interest. Allegedly, father is in bed with the PPP and the Ali family, right? But he is a commissioner. Forget all of the misgivings about the commissioner. The commission has not even started to function. But there are hindrances in its way, which I believe will prevent it from getting to the bottom of the issue. Because who else should you be able to hear from firsthand, if not the captain and crew? It's an inquiry. The people responsible for taking this vessel out, the captain and crew, should be able to tell you what their experiences were. But they were charged and placed before the court for murder. And so they are not likely to be allowed to speak at the inquiry. I don't see that as a mistake. I see that as deliberate. I believe the PPP, Deadfowl, and the rest of them deliberately schemed to charge them for murder as a way of silencing them so the truth can't come out from the captain and crew. Right? Of course, if they allow them, if they say, well, if whatever provisions are made for them to speak at the COI, there's another thing. People like to plead the fifth. I think the fifth says you have a right to plead the fifth, or you have a right to refuse to give information which or self-incriminating information, something to the extent. So in short, even if they will permit them to speak at a COI, it is likely that their lawyers will advise them not to speak, because anything they say at the COI can be used against them in a court of law in terms of this murder charge. So the people, PPP, as they usually do, they circle their wagons. Don't worry them. They can't say nothing that will sink us as a government. We'll circle our wagons to ensure that they take the fall for us. It's 8 minutes to the 9 o'clock hour. I know there's some voice notes. Let me play the voice notes, and then we can determine whether or not we'll be able to take a couple of calls.
Good morning, Brother Kadaki. Good morning, Brodaki. I like the good work that you're doing, but it's something that I can't understand. How can the government lock up these three guys without a proper investigation? Yes, the people that died, but I don't understand. Before you lock up these person and just put them in jail, you have to bring them back the boat for know how much weight went on it, and then you get a proper investigation. Well, so much weight went in it, so much they say, then before you could say do something. You can't just throw the problem on the trigger and just lock them up like that. I don't understand. A jail to be blamed. The government's supposed to have someone every time this thing take up for monitor the load and the people. See the water line, check the water line and everything before the boat take off. If we left it to the consumers to do what they want, yes, the captain get power. The captain's supposed to see. He make a mistake and he didn't really Ian put things in place, or Ian he make no comments about it because he gets something as an arm. but he didn't expect it would be so serious. He just put his child, put them on, blame them on something that they smoke or something they drink. It can't happen like that. You have to go down there to the graveyard, bring back all the trucks and all the roller and everything with them. Then you could say, well, why this thing was overloaded, to bring evidence. You can't just throw them in jail like that and throw them in jail like that. These people supposed to go up on a little bail, and then you do your investigation, you bring up this thing. Well, there's so much thing went down, there's so much thing, this thing is so much ton. And this thing only go for query so much ton. Oh man, the government's supposed to get people in place, the minister them, that are checking this, the weight and the water line of the boat before they take up. A government official is supposed to be there to go and check that. I'm not thinking about rape, but the DDP, they're just, I don't know, they're like just jail black people. But I think if it was 2, 3 Indian, they would have never jailed them because they don't want to make problem with the Indian. I'm not thinking about race, but if something is wrong they're doing, you can't jail these men just like that. You have to do a proper investigation, know how much thing, bring back all them things what they're below. That you could know, well, there's so much weights or so much thing before you could say, yes, you give them a couple of years or whatsoever, the negligence. We know the captain get the power. But seeing it at the set time. You didn't see certain thing at the set time. But I don't understand, you just show them these people and show the blame. One with Edgel, one with Indar. Yeah? Them supposed to get in jail because the government got
the Kidaki morning viewers, morning to all right thinking Guyanese and in the diaspora. Go to Kidaki and Guyanese, I think everyone have the right to give their views. You understand me? Everyone have the rights to see what is on their mind. You know, when you take something off your chest, you know how good you just feel. Come on, man, don't keep bashing at one another on this program. This program is not for that, man. This program is to bash on the wrong thing that the PPP and the Mohammed are doing to this country called Guyana. That is what we are on this program for Guyanese. Come on, man, let me wake up, man. Let me wake up. Let me wake up, Guyanese. Come on, man. What's wrong with us, man? What's really wrong with we, man? We can't unite at no time at all. Come on, man. I don't agree with everything that Flash Garden said and talk about, but it is on the man's chest. It is on the man's mind. Come on, bro. That is not the issue. The issue is all.
Good morning, Mr. Kadaki and my fellow brothers, guys and sisters. Mr. Kadaki, as a seaman, when I see the captain get charged yesterday, and I know the box top of the captain. And then I saw that thing on Facebook this morning with the captain that you talk about, said that he had to leave the work and he deal with what he went through concerning he refusing to take the boat overload and the victimization. I know nothing in this world could have told me that they didn't have political things involved with that boat. They don't want to bring up the boat because the amount of things that they put on the boat and they know they offload. If they bring up the boat, what things the boat was overload, what would happen? And then that seaman who leave the job sometime in April, and what he said, I know exactly that what happened, but they have to hold these government officials responsible. People have to come out and stand up and protest, because one of my friends from Denhamstel said the guy, I think the guy that one guy to get charged from Denhamstel, people have to come out and protest because the government shielding the ministers them. They're shielding the higher up people. There's a lot that have to come out. They don't want the captain and the crew testify. That's why they charge them. It is unfair. It is very unfair to them and their family. I'm so pissed with what's going on with this. People have to come out and protest. That's the only way things will happen differently. They have to come out and protest. The government is responsible for what's going on in that boat.
Hi, good morning, Kadaki. One of the things that I'm looking at All ships carry a logbook. I am wondering, where is that logbook? Did the captain ever write anything in the logbook as to the state of the vessel? The other part that I'm looking at is Marad's complicity in not stopping this vessel from sailing. Did Mr. Stephen Thomas of Marad properly inspected this vessel? Where are the certificate of inspection for this vessel? These are just my simple observations so far.
Good morning, Brother Kadaki. Good morning to all right-thinking Guyanese, especially African Guyanese. Y'all see what this government is doing to especially Black African Guyanese in Guyana? Now, 3 brothers are charged with murder. What is the reason for inquiry? But this government wanted to pay a whole set of money to people to bring in people for inquiry when the captain of the boat is the most important man to say what happened on that water. He is being thrown in jail for murder, 72 murder. Guyanese, African Guyanese, open your eyes. We are having a racist government and they don't mean to stop. And we as Guyanese got to stop them. Because this country belongs to all of us, not one special race of people in Guyana. It belongs to all the 6 races in Guyana. And we have to stop this nonsense what this government is going on with. Because if this government, all the blame to go is to the government of Guyana. They own the boat. And if they don't have a proper boat, you can't throw blame at nobody else but at them. Guyanese, get up. Wake up.
Good morning, Kadaki. Good morning to your viewers. I heard in one of the budget speeches, where Minister was saying that a bank is being opened for small farmers to get their loan so that they could expand their business. And this is happening for the first time. That is a perfect lie. I received a loan under the PNC government. I had just a few pigs and I wanted to increase my production. And I was granted a loan with a small amount of pigs. I will expand. So that is a lie. The rice farmer also received benefit from the same small bank called Guy Bank. So I think these people should ask their parents. They could only talk bad thing about the PNC government, whereas enough of them benefit from the free education, the loans, etc. Thank you.
Good morning, Kadaki. You know, I'm late because I just come from a protest on the road front to free these 3 innocent children. Well, by now you all know Della and Grandison hails from the village of Denham Self-Fellowship. Now I could remember in the Johnny Cochran case, O.J. Simpson. You know what was it? If the glove don't fit, you have to acquit. And if they cannot bring up the boat, whosoever cannot bring up the boat, I think that the lawyers, these crew members, should stick to it that if they cannot bring up the boat to give us proper evidence in that case, that is no case. You cannot have a case without the evidence and carry it to court. Why are they refusing? From the inception, the people started to talk that the boat was overloaded. I traveled to Northwest, and I know where they had, they got every boat got a watermark. Up to where you boat went, sit there, the watermark.
you know you're going good. And the watermark was not visible because the boat was low. You saw on pictures where the water they coming up from the floor before the wave hit. Don't mean that them porous thing where the seawater ratting out along with barnacle had holes in the boat. They got the quantity of, what did I call it? Quantity of something when you're going to do project. They got a name for it. I can't remember now. But they had a paper, they had papers showing the amount of needed materials to repair that boat. And first of all, why repair a 8 or 9-year-old boat? Everything got warranty. I had to get a good washing machine from a man, a friend, a good friend, Maytag, and I had to call a Kulima to look after it. He broke it up. When I call another man, a black man, he said, madam, if you got to repair this, you got to buy something, a timer, for over 300 and something US. They're going to put it to this. The best thing for me, I had to buy a washer. I go and I buy a brand new washing machine. Why the government is trying to prolong an 87-year-old boat life that ended up killing them people? And when it comes to the crew members, and we all know that once you're black in Guyana and you got any position, you're being overridden by the Coolie government. And you see them black things, you see they got Edgel with there, they got Onage where she there, they got Super, they got the Minister of Labor. 3 black. This is emancipation. Massa could hardly beat black man. Massa had an overseer, and beyond the overseer was the beat man. And they used to get the black man for beat we with them whips and the slave plantation. And the PPP got them couple black man in the party as the flipping overseers for whip and destroy black people. But what the black people got to do, we got to come together and stand up and fight for our rights. And what the lawyers of these boys must say, that if they cannot bring up the boat, they cannot have a case. Listen, y'all just follow everything what America got. Johnny Cochran with O.J. Simpson case. If the glove cannot fit, you must acquit. And if the boat can't come up, they ain't got no flipping case. Bye-bye.
Thank you for your call. You know, sometimes I think I should really take Rhonda as my lawyer in some instances, because the fact is, it dawned on me while she was speaking, the vessel really and truly is the crime scene. If you're saying these men gotta be charged with murder, the vessel the crime scene. And if you don't have a crime scene, then now you have a crime. So maybe we have to talk about that. But I saw somebody asking the question or hinting that there's a certain meeting that should take place today. And yes, I know there's a meeting that should take place today. One of the survivors was invited to the State House for 9 o'clock this morning. We should be there anytime now. One of the survivors who first told us that there were more than 200 persons on the boat. The man in the white jersey. He detailed what the harrowing circumstances were. Was invited to State House at 9 o'clock this morning. Why? They're calling him for hush money. Or they're calling to threaten him. Watch yourself. With that, I say goodbye. I'll have a good day. It's 9 minutes past the 8 o'clock hour. Much love is love. Remember, Black is Beautiful is on this Friday on the Buxton Line Top. Don't worry, y'all. I got something coming for y'all. 2 weeks now, I ask you, send y'all assist with some contributions so that we can host that event, Black is Beautiful Emancipation Cultural Event. I say y'all send me some contributions so we can host it comfortably. I also say y'all send me some contributions so I can present to the best graduating child from the National Grade 6 examinations with a gift as a sign of encouragement. Yes, ask y'all for that. You know what? As somebody would say, Blanco Negro, nothing. This is how we living now? Nothing. But you are going to be expecting to see Mr. Amsterdam live streaming the event out there so you can reconnect with home. And you can stay at home and you can see what's going on in Buxton and so. It don't happen, so these things don't run on water. These things don't run on water, but I tell y'all, I don't come here. I'm not a beggar. My ancestors did not leave me to beg. I ask you simply to contribute to something that benefits you and benefits the Afro-Guyanese community. There are few places in this country that are trying to hold on to our history and to pass it on to the next generation. And if you don't want to assist us to do that, it's fine by me. Y'all have a good day. Goodbye. Remember, to whom much is given, much is expected. But some of y'all just believe that you could come and freeload. Yeah, sometimes it is slow talk. You could come and freeload. Every man here on come and freeload. You can't contribute to nothing. Right? Peace and love. Tough love is love too. Y'all know me. I don't cover my mouth. Take it how you want it. Goodbye.